What's happening, guys? Try back again here, bringing another video. This one's going to be doing a revisiting on a fight video prediction I did a while ago, but I had to move it to my other channel because of due to some things with Zuffa and stuff like that. So I thought I'd do it again, and plus also we got to see Rashad Evans beat Phil Miss Wonderful Davis, so we're going to get to finally see probably one of the most delayed matchups in UFC history go down. It's going to be Rashad Evans against Jon Jones. The fight is official. As long as nobody gets hurt, please, please, please. We'll see this go down in April. It looks like the date exactly is going to be April the 21st, UFC 145, Jones versus Evans. So, this fight has been a long time in the making. I mean, these two, at first, initially, just to quickly go through everything that happened, pretty much sum it up. At first, they were training partners, this kind of stuff at Jackson's camp. And initially Rashad said that he would never fight Jon. If Jon wins the title, whatever, he would never fight Jon. Jon then came back, being the pompous prick he is, and said, well, I'm not afraid of Rashad. I would fight Rashad, to the media, basically. So that puts Rashad in a weird position. Rashad doesn't really have a choice. He has to then, be like, okay, well, if you want to fight, I'll fight. You know what I mean? It puts him in that kind of position where if he still says when Jon Jones goes out and says that he won't fight Jon Jones, then it doesn't put him in the right position. You know what I mean? It makes him look like he's avoiding him, makes him look like he's a coward, this kind of stuff, when really he doesn't want to fight Jon because he trained with him. So, and we've seen this time and time again from Jon Jones the last couple of years. He's an easy guy to hate. He's a really easy guy to hate. And it's not because he's that good, it's his attitude. Even if he was losing fights, it doesn't change anything. The things he does, the subtleties, it's really easy for anybody to hate Jon Jones. And Jon Jones fans, obviously he's going to have a lot of fans too, because he's one of the best fighters in the world, and he's the champion, and people love a winner. But you got to see the perspective that he is kind of a pompous prick, and that's all there is to it. I mean, there's a million things he's done that just make him look so conceited and just like full of himself. And like, I mean, I could throw a million examples at you, but the biggest one for me anyway was when at the end of the round against Rampage, Jon Jones dumped Rampage back. Basically, he went for a takedown. The buzzer rang, and even after, he still dumped Rampage back. And then again against Machida, when he choked out Machida, he just drops him and kind of walks away. Like, he can't hide it. I know he tries to. He tries to hide it in interviews and stuff with the things he says, but he can't hide it. Everybody can see it. And if you can't see it, I'm sorry, you're blind. That's all there is to it, because it's obvious. It's plain as day that, like Rashad Evans has made fun of him for this. The guy is as full of himself as you could possibly get. I mean, as you could possibly get. So moving on from that, I can see why a lot of people will be rooting for Rashad in this fight. I'm going to be one of them. I want to say, Rashad in the past, at first when Rashad kind of came in, I wasn't really that, big of a fan. But over the years, I've seen it, we've seen his game evolve to such a point where he's actually, from a wrestler, he's become a good boxer in MMA. We got to see some of that against Davis, and just one of the most well-rounded mixed martial artists, around. The light heavyweight division, I would definitely put Rashad at number 2. A lot of people might argue that Henderson should get the shot first. I disagree. I don't think Henderson deserves a shot more than Rashad does. I mean, Rashad was, with the injured hand and everything, he should have had this a long time ago, quite a while ago. So let's talk about some of the recent matchups. Jon Jones undefeated pretty much his whole career. Last year, took down Shogun, Machida, and Rampage in 1 year, which is just a very, very impressive year for him. Rashad took down Phil Davis, and then before that, he stopped Tito Ortiz. And the thing with Rashad is, in his last 2 fights he's made, a lot of people say, well, Tito Ortiz is over the hill. I half agree with that. I mean, we got to see him against Nog, and he didn't do very well. But, still I think that he was in good shape when he fought Rashad, and I think that Rashad put a beating on him, made him look bad. See, that's what Rashad does to these guys. Same with Phil Davis. Phil Davis is still a top contender. Phil Davis could beat a lot of guys. He might beat Shogun. I mean, he might beat, we'd have to see these fights play out, but I would put Phil Davis right up there near the top. He'd be top 5, I think, around 5th, roughly. But he'd definitely be up there in the rankings. And Rashad made him look bad. He really did. He made him look pretty bad. That's all there is to it. Rashad is really, really good in every aspect of the game, his experience and everything. Now, here's something interesting to see is that their records. Rashad is 17-1 with a loss to Lyoto Machida from a KO. And then Jon Jones is 15-1, but it's really like 16-0. So they've got almost the same amount of fights, but it feels like to me Rashad has much more experience. Maybe it's because he's older. I'm not sure. But it looks like they have about the same amount of experience in the octagon. Even though, yeah, I just for some reason feel like Rashad has more. But I guess he doesn't. It's probably just a mental thing because he's older and he's been around in the UFC longer. But he never was a defending champion. He lost his title after he won it to Machida. So, Jon Jones has been really dominant lately. There's no question about that. Will Rashad be the guy to take the title from him? I think he's got the best chance. I think he's got the best chance of anybody, but it's going to be really tough for anybody. I mean, Jon Jones at the light heavyweight division, he's such a big guy. He basically has the frame of a heavyweight fighting at light heavyweight. I mean, his reach is humongous. It's like one of the biggest in the UFC history, if not the longest. So he's going to have a huge reach advantage. He's athletic. He's young. He's quick. And he's got all the skills, man. He puts it together really well, too. Like we saw him when he choked out Machida and stuff. He wasn't doing the best in that fight. And then next thing you see, he gets a huge takedown. He throws like one elbow against Machida, and Machida looks like he was, hit with an axe or something, just like, cut wide, man. And he's got some vicious ground and pound, too. He's just he's a really well-rounded mixed martial arts fighter who's got probably the best ground and pound. I might say it, the best ground and pound in UFC history. He might. I mean, think about it. When everybody else takes down a guy like Tito Ortiz, Tito will throw short elbows. Tito will ground and pound and, punish people. He was famous for that. But can you ever remember Tito Ortiz taking a guy down and within about, 5 seconds, throw one elbow and cuts the guy that wide, just like nothing. And he does this every time. Jon Jones does this to everybody. It's like he's just got such lanky, long arms and stuff. When he gets guys down, he's just got such a huge reach to come back and come down with it, that they just can't seem to block it. They can't seem to stop it. Now, the thing with Rashad is that he could probably stay off his back because he's got great wrestling, and when he gets taken down, he gets back up really quickly. Rashad's boxing is really good, despite the reach advantage. I really think Rashad can win this fight. It's possible. He can. The odds, though, I still have to lean towards Jon Jones. I think I'd probably give him, I think it'll be close. It'll probably be about, I want to say maybe 57-33. So 57% for Jones and, or sorry, 57-43. 57% for Jon Jones, 43% for Rashad. It's just that Jon is so dominant right now, and he's in a groove, and I think that's why he really wants to fight soon again. Didn't want to take off too much time. He's gotten into a groove where nobody really seems to be able to beat him, man, or even do hardly any damage to him. I mean, really, did Machida really do that much to him? Not really. He landed maybe 1 or 2 punches in the first round. He landed a couple shots, but that's about it. I mean, nobody else has done anything. Shogun didn't do a damn thing to him. Rampage didn't do a damn thing. Is Rashad the guy to do it? Maybe. His quickness. And, what will be interesting to see is who's a better wrestler. That's interesting. I can't decide between these two who's a better wrestler for MMA. I really can't. I mean, they both have amazing takedowns. We got to see against Phil Davis, Rashad Evans is some of the best takedown defense, and his counter wrestling was amazing with his sprawls, and then he was even after able to turn it back and put Phil Davis on his back. So, this is going to be a really, really interesting fight to see. I give Rashad a really good shot in this fight. Give Jon Jones the odds, but I could see Rashad winning this fight. As for bets and people that are going to bet, I think that The safe bet would probably be Jon Jones in this fight, but the thing is, he's going to be such a favorite, it might not be worth it. The lines aren't out yet, but by the time the lines come out, he could be like, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1. I don't think it's that far of a spread. So if it ends up being like 4-1 odds, I probably wouldn't bet because I give Rashad a really good chance in this fight. His quickness, Rashad's got that fast twitch, muscle fiber, quickness about his everything he drills, his takedowns, his boxing. He's really quick. He might be quick enough to put Jon Jones on his back. We've never seen somebody put Jon Jones on his back and pound on him. That would be nice to see. We could see some of his jiu-jitsu, which it looks like Jon Jones has good jiu-jitsu too. I mean, I don't know, man. There's nothing this guy isn't good at. It's kind of annoying, actually. So this prediction has been more of an in-depth prediction. I acknowledge that it's been pretty long. I guess what I'm doing is I'm picking Jon Jones regretfully, also giving Rashad a good chance, and I really want Rashad to take this, man. I would be voting for Rashad like crazy, man, because I just the stuff that Jon Jones does, like dumping Rampage and stuff like that, and all that stuff, man. That's not classy. You know what I mean? I don't like that stuff. So I know many other people don't too. I'm not alone in this. There's a lot of people out there that don't. So that's it for this video, guys. Pretty much saying, want Rashad to win, give the odds to Jon Jones. But if you're a betting man, I say, if it's going to be huge odds, don't bet on Jon Jones. If, the odds are big, you might want to go with Rashad, or you might not want to bet at all, just because, it's too close to be betting, odds of 3-1 or 4-1 on, in my opinion. Should be a great fight, and then after this, we'll probably get to see Hendo face Jones, or maybe, who knows, Rashad or whoever. I'd really like to see Rashad take this. That's it for this one, guys. See you for the next one later. Peace.